Hi, Niro Pillay here from Investment Rise, and thank you to all of you who wrote in, shared, liked and commented on my last video, which was all about a 2017 market update. It was a video where I shared what I expect to happen in 2017 and also reviewed my predictions from 2016 and how I went and what predictions came right and what didn't. And as a result of watching that video, many of you wrote in, you said, you understand the Sydney market, it's really at the top of the market cycle right now. There isn't a lot of growth left in the market for the next few years. There is an oversupply of units coming on board. And even if you do get into the Sydney market right now, the price points that you're paying with the ridiculously low rental yields that are currently on offer in Sydney of roughly 2.8% on average, it's not going to cash flow itself, which means you're going to have to fund that investment property yourself out of your hard-earned money. So you understand that you're going, look, Sydney's the same, Melbourne's the same, that's fine, but why Queensland? Why only Queensland? Why not Adelaide? Or why not Perth? Or why not Tasmania? Some of you even wrote in and said you've read certain reports that are saying that some of the other states are outperforming Queensland. So why would I be saying that Queensland is the only place to be investing right now? Well, let's first of all look at Queensland itself. As a state, it's the second largest state in the country. It's 5 times bigger than Germany and about more than half the size of India. So it's a massive state. So you cannot talk about the Queensland market. The way I look at Queensland is separated into 3 different markets: Northern Queensland, Central Queensland, and then Southeast Queensland. Now, Northern Queensland and Central Queensland, really at the moment no-go areas. They're still recovering from their post-mining boom issues. Central Queensland is worse off than North Queensland, but certainly not areas that I'd recommend looking at investing right now. But Southeast Queensland is a very different story. There's massive infrastructure growth happening, there's massive population growth happening, and the problem with many of those reports is they just take the negative expected growth from Central and North Queensland and the positive growth from Southeast Queensland, then lump the two together, add them up, cancel each other out, and say Queensland is a state that's not going to perform very well. That doesn't make any sense. So whenever you're looking at reports or predictions, you've got to look at the research behind it, the source of their information. Are they just lumping things together, or are they being very, very specific? So sure, if you lump North Queensland, Central Queensland growth rates with Southeast Queensland, combine it all together and give Queensland one growth rate itself, it's not going to look very rosy. And sure, then places like Adelaide and Tasmania may look like states with better potential. But you've got to divide it up. You've got to look at the key market segments. And Southeast Queensland is a very different market in and of itself. And if you look at the growth rates expected around Southeast Queensland, well, those growth rates are higher than almost any other state. But the other thing is, what's driving the growth rates? See, when you're investing, one of the things you want to be investing on is the back of population growth. More specifically, you want the rate of population growth, which is the demand for property, to be higher than the supply of property. When you have higher demand than supply, well, prices start to rise. We've seen that in Sydney and Melbourne for the last 3 or 4 years. So you want to be investing on the back of people. Where are the people moving to? And right now, Southeast Queensland has the highest rate of population migration, especially domestic migration. So even the people from overseas may be coming to Sydney and Melbourne. What's happening is a lot of people from these more expensive states right now, we're going up to Queensland. So you need to be investing on the back of people. Whereas I don't know too many people who are saying, I want to pack my bags and go to Hobart or move to Adelaide. No disrespect to people from those areas, but these are not areas that people are moving to. So therefore, what's driving the perceived growth rate right now is investors looking for better yielding properties, looking for cheaper investments. Investing on the back of growth rates that are investor driven is fraught with danger, because when investors stop getting those yields, or when there's a market turn, the investors just exit. They sell, or people move out, tenants move, so you can't get the rents that you wanted. I mean, an extreme example was the mining boom. It was heavily driven by investors. The market turned, and we now know what's happening in many of those mining-related areas. I mean, some of those areas will come back, but there has been a lot of pain for people. So make sure when you're doing your research, you look at everything. You look at the key factors, and don't get caught up with just the headlines. Southeast Queensland still, I believe, is the best market to invest in for the next 3 to 4 years based on population movements, infrastructure investment, jobs growth, as Deloitte Access Economics came out and said they expect the Queensland economy to be the strongest economy, state-based economy from 2017 to 2019 and beyond. So you've got some really good fundamentals there, and you can still get into a house for about $500,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, double lock-up garage house. Now, the third point here is that the Southeast Queensland market is also going to have two different types of market. It's going to have an apartment market and a house market. Now, that might seem weird, but what I mean here is that we're going to see two very distinct markets in the one area. The apartment market is very much oversupplied. I would be staying away from the apartment market, well, in any capital city, but the housing market, actual houses in certain key areas of Southeast Queensland, is very much undersupplied. That's where you want to be targeting your strategic investments. As I said in my last video, I believe 2017 and the next few years will be the years of the strategic investor. The investor who looks beyond just the hype, goes into the research, looks at vacancy rate, all the key factors that you need to look at before making an investment choice. If you'd like some assistance with that, there'll be a link below this video to click, and you can find out how we might be able to be of assistance. But if not, let me know what you thought about this video. If you've got any further questions, please let me know in the comments field below, and I'll do my best to answer them either directly or in a future video. Bye for now.